Hello, my name is Christopher Music. I'd like to thank you for letting me be here today. Today I want to talk to you small business owners and primarily private practice owners that are in the healthcare field. You see, in the new economy, we're going to be having some challenges. And these challenges are summarized in the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act, otherwise known as ObamaCare. There's a lot being said about Obamacare, and the underlying theme is uncertainty. Now, this isn't going to be a talk on tips and tricks how to handle Obamacare. But what it is going to do is talk about a fundamental paradigm shift that we should be having as business owners in this new economy. Now, Obamacare is going to be affecting private practice owners in two fundamental ways. The first way is through your household. The other way is through your practice. Now, let's say the practice first. In your practice, you're going to be experiencing insurance reimbursement that is going to be lower than what you're used to. You're going to experience higher costs and liabilities and compliance with regulations that you haven't been used to. All that's going to do is lower your profitability. Now, in your household, because your profit flows into your household, if you're the owner, you're going to be experiencing higher taxes and higher insurance costs. So it's a double whammy for healthcare professionals. Now, how do we handle the problem? I talk about in my other material something called the private practice millionaire. Now, every private practice owner has three fundamental responsibilities. The first one is the technician responsibility. That is the delivery of the technical services to your patients, the results of the services that you deliver. The second responsibility is the executive, and that is when you are taking practice management and you're making an expanding, profitable business. And finally, you have your owner responsibilities. And the owner responsibilities break down to two areas. The first one being the entrepreneur. Now, as an entrepreneur, you went from being an associate into your own private practice or your small business. And what that means is that you have the responsibility to bring that group together for the mission and the vision and the overall culture of that organization. But you also have the investor part of it, because you see your private practice is an investment, and those profits go to pay for your lifestyle and your future. So without all three of these, we end up in trouble. The traditional model has been to put these three responsibilities into a priority. The top one being the technical priority, the second one being the executive, and the last one being the owner. Let's take a look at how this happened. Well, in order to be a dentist or an optometrist or any other healthcare practitioner, you had to have gone to 6-8 years of school. Every year you do continuing education, and you go to conferences that focus on treatment and innovations in that area. So a bunch of money, time, effort, and resources are put into your technical quality. Well, that's great, and that's very important. But how much time have you spent on the executive parts of your practice? About all the practice management tips and tricks and best practices that we get from consultants and coaches. That is a haphazard approach to building a business that has value. And finally, how much effort has been putting into being an owner, learning how to be an owner? What do owners do? They do planning. They do business planning and they do financial planning. How much business and financial planning have you done? So you see, going forward, we need a fundamental shift in our viewpoints and our resources. So the way to do that is to invert this priority. The highest priority from now on will be the owner priority. The second one is the executive, and the last one will be the technician. You see, as an owner, you have the responsibility for planning. Your business will not succeed if you do not plan for it. Your household will not succeed if you do not have a business plan for it. That is a carefully crafted, results-based financial plan. Because you see, your practice is an investment, is an asset of that household. So it is a financial planning effect. Now, the correct financial plan will have 9 elements to it. You see, you have to have your goals written down, and you have to have exact procedures worked out on how you're going to achieve those goals. You have to have correct information about what financial planning really is, and procedures that have been worked out to effectively get the result in the least amount of effort and time. Your business is going to have to be booming as far as income and profitability. We have to be able to set aside money for future use so that if you ever want to leave that business someday, you have an income stream generated separately from that practice. And your debt has to be paid off. We have to have a debt-free household and have our credit at an excellent level so we have opportunities available to us. We have to get our estate plans in place. In other words, to make sure that legally we have all of the intentions for that money and assets if we're not here to enjoy them. We have to have our taxes and our tax planning operating at a whole new level. You see, taxes are going to go up, and if we don't plan on how to mitigate them, we will by default pay the most tax we can. Our asset protection is going to also have to be at a new level. We have 87 different risks that can affect you and take away your wealth. And finally, your investments. Because the traditional approach to investing with the markets the way they are is going to create much more problem than the solutions that those problems try to solve. So, all 9 elements in your financial plan have to be operating at an optimum level, an ideal condition. Because if you want to have a positive financial experience, we cannot be going along and losing at every turn because we have not provided. That leads us to the next element, the results-based business exit plan. Every one of you is going to exit your practice one day, and there are 7 different ways you can exit. To have a results-based plan in place on when and under what terms you're going to do that will create value and wealth for you and your family. Now, that's the ownership level. Let's go to the executive level. You see, the whole idea of practice management tips and tricks and try this and try that isn't going to work anymore. We need to build a system. You see, every successful business has policies and procedures and a codified system in place so that it operates as a business. You see, you may be involved in private practice, but here's the test to see if you really have a business or not. If you can leave your business for 60 days, not call, write in, or text in one time, and have the income and profitability go up after you return, and having it happen while you were gone, then you have a business. If you can't do that, you have a job, because a business cannot run without you. Now here's the deal. If you want to build a financial future, you're going to have to create maximum value in that practice, not only for yourself and for your family, but when you exit out of that business, for someone else who's going to be taking it over from you. Now, finally, the technician point. You have already made your investment into how to be the top technical deliverer of your services in your market. You have done all the schooling and all of the continuing education. All we need to do now is keep at a level of the highest quality possible. Just hone and fine-tune our techniques. So going forward in this new economy, to summarize, we have to do a couple of things. Number one, stay at the highest level of quality you can. Because going forward, you're not going to be reimbursed or paid based on your technical skill. It's going to be more based on your marketing and ability and your business savvy. Invest in becoming an executive, in your executive skills, your systems. Michael Gerber talks about a franchise prototype in his book, The E-Myth. And that's what you should be building, a system that operates without you. That's going to take an investment of time and money on your part. And finally, invest a lot in your financial planning and a results-based financial plan and a results-based business exit plan. So you have a marshaling of all the assets together to create wealth in the new economy. Thank you very much.